Oh
Hello,
wow,
hello,
it's so
hello.
quiet already. I was waiting for someone else to speak up.
I was
wasn't sure.
honestly wondering if we were gonna get some unhinged crap to start with.
That's what I was expecting.
No, it's like, fine, I'll give you 2 words. Actually, no. 5 words. A year ago, Kendrick dropped.
Goodness gracious.
That's it.
God
That's the
damn
words.
it.
You see, at this point in time, you need to just like start making haikus for us, D.
I could.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another session of And We Went Out Roving, where nothing of any significance ever at all happened. And everybody just has a nice, pleasant life. Nothing at all.
Yeah.
Nothing bad ever happens to the marked.
I think that'll become the
Nothing
next
bad
big
ever happened to the
catchphrase.
Lord.
Look, I need you guys to know that I am in the process of making a bumper sticker. So
Okay.
No,
I will buy it. This is my car now. I have the title. I can start putting shit on it.
Oh boy. But yes, last time we had left off, our group had started their downtime within the city of Emrys and taking a well-deserved break before the tourney of 3 moons. The opportunity to rest, relax, invest a bit of money and downtime into research projects and the like has been a welcome respite for our traveling heroes, if that's what you want to call them, ne'er-do-wells or otherwise.
Damn.
Well, you haven't necessarily proven yourselves heroes in part as of yet. We'll see if that fully plays true, or if everything's just done out of spite. Either way, our group at this point in time have made it to Emrys and have begun their downtime wrestling. One individual has taken up a job as a dancer and cocktail waitress at the masked ladies of the Bronze Buckler and Butterfly Club, getting up different bits and pieces of information and seeing of interesting rumors in and about the town. Another has began trying out different alchemical experiments and finding new ways in order to take advantage of situations and finding new paths within their life that doors have opened for them that were previously closed after a parting of ways with their previous employer. While Terrace has now, at this point in time, taken the opportunity to find and recenter themselves and expand a bit more of their life and reflect upon choices made, and while Allegan has delved deeper into research and picking up where they had finally had the chance to not do so before for a period amount of time the last month during their travels. The group itself had met with Sidis and signed up for the tourney at the Adamant Crucible, and now we begin our second week of downtime, the group coming back together and fully delving into their projects. So, last time we began with Saffron, so this time we will begin with their fine compatriot, Raya.
Huh?
Raya, how would you like to start your second week of downtime?
Alright. So, I guess still is like they would still be working is like on and off. And they could probably thinking about fishing, but just holding off on it is like just holding off on it for the time being, despite wanting to.
Well, working will take up one half of your week. What will you be doing with the second half?
I think I guess a really good way would be trying to scout out the competition.
Fair enough. Alright, so we'll start with work. Are you attempting to just make money? Are you attempting to listen out for different rumors, catch the eyes of interesting patrons while you're there or otherwise, or is it just all about making money and kind of finding a different bit of a groove?
Still gonna be performing, but but any chance there is time to actually peruse, just listen to things going on, he's gonna go ahead and do that. You never know.
Okay, so at that point in time, give me a d20 roll, please.
13.
13. All right, could you give me a d6, please?
Okay. I always get so nervous when I roll these. 1.
1.
I don't like that.
Right. Well, so for the week of work, you go ahead and roll a charisma persuasion check for me, please.
Persuasion. That's gonna be 16.
16. All right. So then, for the week of work, because with the additional clientele coming to town with the preparation of the attorney, you are able to make. Wait. 51 gold for the week.
I'm no longer at 999.
Sorry. And during one of your performances itself, you would see kind of one group, like two different kind of adventuring groups, coming in and taking in the performances itself. Like a number of them kind of just enjoying the atmosphere, drinks, and getting a little bit rowdy. And during this time period, you would see the two of them kind of just beginning to throw and toss a few little insults at each other, playful or otherwise, and then they start to get a little bit worse and a little bit more mean. And by the end of the shift, probably about 3/4 of the way into the shift, the two groups erupt into a brawl with each other. One of which appears to be more a group that has made up primarily of dwarves, gnomes, and halflings that have named themselves the Ironfoots.
Of course.
While the other group appears to be that more of Goliaths, elves, and one dragonborn that call themselves the Flaming Shafts. And
Really?
there's many a jab thrown at them about their name by the other group.
Oh, I was going to ask if there was anything I could do to diffuse the situation, but
You could certainly attempt to, but how? But there's a question like, how would you attempt to do so? You are primarily a performer at this point in time.
I am a performer.
So how would you like to diffuse this situation? You can tell that the leader of the taller individual group is the Red Dragonborn. They appear to have like kind of a softer, more feminine voice, but they also appear to be those that have the kind of a longbow that is unstrung on their back, but you can see that when they do pull it out, that there is no quiver on the back, and you can surmise that when they are able to spring at the point in time, the arrows, the shafts upon it catch alight. While the shorter group, you can see there is a gnomish individual who has this curly mustache that has 3 twirls into it. Has a very kind of like longer beard, and you can see that his robe at this point in time has that of different electrical veins to it. So, what would you like to do to try to diffuse the situation?
You're gonna have to forgive me because I'm just gonna start talking to. I'm trying to talk to the ideas. Okay.
Sure.
Perform is like so. Performing right now, and right now I don't think it's like. I was planning on saving singing for like the last few days. Thinking more, I was doing dancing right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a dancing. I have a dancing sword now.
Oh no.
Do I don't know if they will let you to bring that on stage.
No. No, thinking about it. No, that probably would, especially if you try to do the act with it. They would probably not do that right there. So, how's one? Yes. Okay. No, I'm really trying to think. I'm really trying to think about this right here because.
Well, keep in mind that. Go ahead.
Okay. So the one obvious thing I could think about is switching up the dance style.
All right, from what to what?
Flamenco.
Oh,
Because
no.
I have done that before. You are aware how in flamenco using the male dancers where they actually do fancy footwork where it's pretty much like a tap and a stomp on the stage right there.
Yes. Do you? Are you doing these? Flamenco also typically requires a partner. So, let's see.
Typically. But there are male flamenco dancers who actually do the solo flamenco with the footwork.
Correct, but you always trained with a dance partner at that point in time. I will give you a performance check for this if you would like, but you will be made with disadvantage because you've always tried it with a partner.
How many people are in Emrys?
Over 25,000.
All right, well, I have one thing in my back pocket if it doesn't quite work out. First roll.
Yeah.
First, do we still have portents?
You would have
also-
made important rolls for the day itself, yes.
We also have a boon.
So, here's the thing. First was 17. The second was a 7. The reason
Okay.
why I asked how many people in there because in a place of 10,000 or more people, I could use Urbanite's favorite, which was a Tenebrae has. But okay, that was so weird. What a Tenebrae has to reroll, but I have to use that second roll.
Correct.
I'm gonna use it.
Okay.
I can't make this shit up.
Well, D,
What'd
what
you
do we
get?
got?
I cannot make this shit up.
What do you get?
I'm sending it. And I'm not moving the fucking deodorant, so the thing of deodorant, so you can actually see that I'm not.
All right. Okay. Then with that, with a sudden stomp and a clap, you get these memories rushing back with you, the muscle memories triggered within your brain with your time spent, and all of a sudden, a lights shift towards you, and as the crowd quiets once more, as these two groups are kind of beginning to egg each other on, and you can see like knuckles tightening and with the heavy stomp and clap, you begin to dance and perform. The twirling around, moving across the stage, the other performers kind of stepping back at this point in time, looking at you, and then looking at the boss, then looking at you, looking at the boss, who, the boss you can see at this point in time is moderately irritated that there is a person under her purview and employ who is going off script and God, this is completely just like burlesque at this point.
I'm sorry.
But at this point in time, the performance you put on is mesmerizing and draws eyes and attention from all corners of the establishment at this point in time. And by the time it comes to a close, everyone is on their feet cheering and clapping, and the tempers have diffused a bit. And certainly as you can see them, the Madame has kind of walked up to the other two groups, and you can see them thanking them for the time, but politely asking them to leave and depart at this point in time. And as the rest of the performers file off stage, you hear a voice, Raya, a moment,
No.
please.
Raya is immediately going over to the madam, and it's like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I
My
did not mean to go-"
office. And she points.
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh, Raya's in trouble.
Raya goes to the office.
About 10, 15 minutes pass. And then the door opens and the madam, as long as stage manager, enters on in, and she closes the door and gives you a very pointed look and says, "You have a lot of gall doing something without running it by me or the manager first.
I
You do know that
understand.
this is my establishment, correct?
Yes.
You came here
yes.
asking for work in a time period when certainly it is open, but with the unruly understanding that you are working for me."
Yes, I do understand.
And the actions that you take reflect upon me.
Yes, I do understand.
Now that being said, where did you learn to dance like that?
I I have a friend in dear friend. She's one of the college right there. That was her field of study. She does a lot of things, but flamenco is the one that she is best at. I help her around. It was one of the few things where instead of like praising her for it, I was constantly trying to see what she could do, what could be better, constantly pushing her, pretty much helping her be the best that she can be. And that there's
Danask is certainly those that which many would aspire to.
yes, but
I'd like to make you an offer.
what?
I'd like to make you a headline performer.
What? What? Madam,
You work for me specifically, and as such, you would be paid 50 gold at the end of every day. You have a fair number of those interested in also purchasing your services if you're ever inclined for any number of different things. And she sets a bag of coins on the table in front of you.
Oh, ma- madam, this is a very generous offer, but you do also have to understand that I do only plan on being here as long as the tournament's going on, correct?
You see her face pause. You are a participant in the tournament. This was not something that you first mentioned or brought up when you were applying to interview.
Shit, did I not? No. What did I?
You simply came and said that you were looking for work.
Oh, okay. I do apologize, but yes, I'm with an adventuring group right here. We did sign up, and while we were here, we were each doing our downtime. I decided to, actually perfect a bit of my own crafts right here. I decided to focus more on the performance side than the talking side right there, and it seemed like
Adventurer, I should have known.
no. Okay, I did not mean to make any disrespect or anything.
She will put them. She will throw the coins in. She'll throw the coin bag into your chest and say, "Please leave my establishment. Adventurers are more trouble than they're worth. And while I thank you for your time spent, I also should have known that anyone who is looking to participate in an event put on by the Grand Merchant Dukes," and you see she grinds her teeth when saying that word, is someone who is more interested in themselves than trying to help establish a rapport within the city. Please leave.
Daisy Dukes, with all due respect, I am a lot of things. I'm clumsy. I do tend to leap before I think. I tend to embarrass a lot of my friends. The one thing I do not do is make trouble for others when I can't fix it. I will respect your wishes to leave, but don't think that I want anything to do with with those bastards any more than I have to.
It is not whether or not if you think that you will have something to do with them, it's whether or not you think that they will want to have something to do with you. They are always on the lookout for talent of any shape, form, or nature, always looking to acquire new individuals for their own networks or to bring additional ears into my own house. So certainly you can understand my trepidation when adventurer has now entered into my establishment that could possibly be bought or otherwise, since many of them are after gold in some way, shape, or form or fashion, and cause a bit of a ruckus or stir up that will eventually lead to them to trying to take over my own business and prospect. Many of those under my purview have lost their lives and livelihoods to the Grand Merchant Dukes. So do understand where I'm coming from.
You're just trying to protect your own.
She gives a short nod at that.
And that makes me feel a lot better. I wouldn't want you to have any regrets with me being heir to the very last day and then my reputation leading back to you. That just wouldn't do, would it? Okay, so I do very much thank you for the time spent here, and I thank you very much for the opportunity.
You understand. You're welcome back as a patron, but I cannot accept you as an employee.
Raya does a very deep bow, and thank you again for the opportunity. And he just gathers stuff and he starts to leave. Oh. Get us.
Was a hell of a performance, though. Don't think you'll be quite forgotten so quickly.
Oh, God. Oh, okay. I'm really gonna have to roll if I can keep his cool right there. I very much doubted Tim Deception would be able to hide just how being remembered just strikes a chord in him. Just a lot of emotions at that, but he doesn't look back and just keeps walking.
Right. Within the pouch is 237 gold pieces and 482 silver.
What? That's way more than 50 gold.
Correct. This was the tips and gifts that were offered by individuals for your performance.
Damn. I think after that, right, it's just... That would be a time just Raya just fishes.
All right. There's not a whole lot of it. There's a nearby. There is the lake itself, but which you can hire a boat out onto if you would so like, which you can certainly spend some time there. But that's for the first half of the week. Then at that point in time, we will move on to Monsieur Mr. Allegan. What would you like to do during the second week of your downtime?
Okay, so I have fully figured out how this magical control device, the neck gem,
Yes, you have fully figured out how it works, and you can replicate it by the end of this month with continual work at that point.
Yeah, I'm gonna start. I'm basically just gonna go all in on.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Then for that, you would need to purchase a gem of significant enough size in order to split. So, what gem are you looking to purchase or use?
Right now I'm just kind of working on its outside bits, if I can, because I know
Sure.
we were waiting on possibly getting a gem from the horde that we will win if we get
Sure thing.
win the arena.
All right. So, at that point in time, so what tools then are you proficient with?
I am proficient with alchemist supplies and herbalism, though I don't think cooking will help here. I was going to see if I could procure some of Safi's assistance with this.
Depending upon what Saffron is doing this week. Is there anything else you would like to do this week then?
Other than that, if I could go about and see if I can just kind of casually inquire about magical stuff. I don't want to raise like any attention to us. So I think I'm going to kind of like model myself as like a traveling merchant, kind of using that last name to my advantage, and I am looking specifically for cleaning spells or anything to do with like repair magic.
As in like mending, prestidigitation, and things of that like. Those.
Kind of get those types out.
I would say you could certainly go ahead and get. There's simply because of the nature of the nearby event that's going on, that finding basic cantrip spell scrolls and things like that would be easy enough in order to obtain. So you could get like prestidigitation, you could get mending.
Look for like higher level stuff like fabricate if I can, because like that I think would still be involved in it, but I am just curious.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me pull up a list here real quick.
Basically looking for like higher level magics, but also not trying to draw attention to myself.
Right. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me, please.
Okie dokie. Not my best. 16.
That would be contribution. 16?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so for this, I would say that you're trying to find spells at this point in time. So you can also at this point in time spend a little bit of money in order to try to find such an item if you would like. So that's an investigation check. Alright, so go ahead and make me a persuasion check as well. You can spend additional money on this in order to increase the persuasion check.
Okay, because what I want to do is I don't actually want the fabricate spell. I specifically want to find somebody who would be like high level enough to have the fabricate spell in hopes to get like other spells.
That's fair.
Okay, you said persuasion?
Yeah, persuasion, because this is persuasion is more like talking to people, finding like out various different individuals. And I will say because of your family name, I will give you advantage on this.
Oh, thank God. That first roll was great. Okay. 14.
14. Do you want to spend any additional coinage on this?
Would it like increase the chance that they would talk to me?
For every for every 50 gold spent, it would increase the persuasion check by 1.
Am I just handing over money, or am I buying stuff at the shop to basically
Uh,
ingratiate them to me?
It would be not. It's not ingratiating yourself with them. It's more like you're greasing palms, getting
Okay.
couriers, like finding out about people in the process. This is not necessarily immediately. This is more like
Yeah.
finding a person who would have like those spell scrolls in the first place.
Okay. Yeah, I'll drop. You said 50 or 25 per.
50 per.
50 per. I'll throw 100 gold down.
Okay, so 16. I would say this would take you probably like 2 days, where like the first day is like greasing palms and like people getting back to you information, and then
Yeah.
the second day you get a runner that comes back, who tells you of an individual that came in yesterday, hadn't fully set up stuff as of yet, but the name of the individual is Wurkin, like Wurkin.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds to write that down. Sorry, what was that spelling?
Workin. Wurkin.
Okay.
And the name of his shop is Weird Workin's Wonders.
Okay. And I'm guessing this is not on the main thoroughfare.
No, this is an individual who came by, who was they kind of have like a field that's kind of reserved off for themselves, off alone. You can see it has a kind of a stony hedge and around it, but there's definitely appears to be other adventuring groups that have kind of like are going in and out of the nearby like stone gate as they're going in to see him in and out of his tent and wagon at this point in time. Which you would kind of poke your head around the corner, you would see that there's one near my wagon, and then there's a very large and elaborate burgundy and royal purple tent set up with gold trimming around the edges.
Oh, for fuck's
Long
sake,
drapes.
wizards.
It's very extravagant. Much more in the style of like Kalimshite individuals.
Okay.
It's like more like kind of like a large open, well, not necessarily open. It's a large tent in itself, but you can see like it's pulled up along the sides, and it probably takes about maybe a good 400 feet in diameter. And you can see that there's a number of different tables. There's a number of different tables set out underneath it that have a number of different oddities and elements like put out onto display around it. And you would see moving amongst the different tables, while there are a few other different individuals
Before I
speaking to him.
go, I am, because buddy system. I am gonna grab, if Raya is not busy. This is like during the day.
Well, he got fired, so.
I don't know that yet. So I'm gonna go to like our space, and just be like, Raya, do you have in, I don't know, a couple hours?
It is a dog.
Why are you listening?
No.
Girl,
What's going on?
No. Why are you droopy? You look like you have been covered in water, but you are like not.
Is that not noticeable?
Um,
Please. No one else is nearby, right?
Saffron is off doing their own thing, as is Terrace.
Sake, fuck. Okay. I'm gonna need you to not say anything.
What did you do?
I got fired.
From where?
I
Wait, did you get us
was
kicked out of the tournament?
no. It's because I'm in the tournament that I got fired. I was a
Fired
dance.
from where?
I was a dance. I was a dancer and waiter at this burlesque club, and there were these two adventuring groups who were getting into it. One of them was the Flaming Shafts. Why would they name themselves the Flaming? No, that's not important. There was going to be a fight had, and
Mm-hmm.
which would have been bad enough as is,
It
but due to the fact that
would.
they are adventurers in a club full of civilians, I had to do something, so I danced. I did.
Got you in
I
trouble.
broke away. I broke away from the group I was dancing with to distract them.
I see.
Which the one thing that brings them together is that everyone's on the same beat. Me doing myself together and doing my own thing in the Madness Club, even though it was to keep a fight from happening, already wasn't a good look. But apparently, you were as angry as they were also so impressed that they tried to make me a headliner.
And you said no?
I said that there's no. I said I didn't even get a chance to say no. I was just saying I said at once that it didn't seem like a good or fair to them because I was only here for the tournament. Due to the fact that the people running this place, the merchant, whatevers, they are the ones doing that.
You do realize that the average person isn't their hugest fan, yes?
Yes. And if I tied them to there, that would be a lot. That would be a lot of bad business for the madam and then everyone there. I'd be putting them in danger. So yeah, they had to let me go.
Well,
I didn't want
will
to.
admit it's better than I thought it was.
I don't believe it or not. I don't go out of my way to make trouble for people.
I wasn't saying that you were, but I'm also saying that trouble finds you like it is, you are honey and it is flies. You are covered in it most often. So, as far as things go, look, I did not come here to ask questions about your exotic dancing career. Do you want to go to a magic shop or no?
Okay.
Also, stop
All
being
right.
droopy. It makes your whole face look like, I don't know, like a puppy.
I am. Well, I am ugly cute like one. Kind of like a rescue. But let's... Give me one moment. Raya just takes a deep breath and... Like that, Happy Mask is back on. All right.
That
After you,
was
Doc.
terrifying. What?
You learn...
No. What? Does anybody in this group have healthy coping mechanisms, or are we all, like, incredibly damaged?
I have healthy coping mechanisms. It's just that sometimes you have to get through the day normally. Then when you get home, you do those coping mechanisms. Besides, you need my help right now.
All right. And I will grab Raya and we will head out.
Alright, can you roll me a d20, please?
Sure. 7.
Okay. Going to this kind of smaller walled off field. Again, there's you can see going into the gate various different other individuals heading in and out from it. Probably about a good maybe 15, 20 or so individuals are perusing the different tables underneath this large and extravagant tent. And you can see moving from table to table within them, underneath this, a sign above them at that point in time that says "Weird Workins Wonders." You would see an individual that has a deep blue skin, large, probably a large form, about maybe like 8 feet tall. Definitely kind of like a more like crimson and burgundy silks along them at this point in time. A wild smile upon their face, a number of different piercings. Alec, go ahead and make me. You can make me either Arcana or a Religion check.
Okay. I'm gonna make Arcana because that's my best skill. And thank you, 27.
27. You're fairly certain that, at the very least, this is an Air Genasi, if not someone that has direct lineage towards a Jinn.
Oh, okay. Fancy.
You don't know if they're necessarily like a full-blooded genie or things like that, but they are definitely at least like have the same presence and like almost like this captivating aura to them and around as they move from customer to customer with a breeze and light of foot. As you approach at this point in time, you can see them finishing up with a couple other customers and moving around, and he espies you and is like, come in, please, do observe and partake upon my wares. If I will be more than happy to answer any questions you might have.
Do I get any, like, danger vibes off of this guy, or is he chill?
Make an insight check.
Can I make one too?
You may.
All right. Insight.
Okay.
25.
22.
22. From what you can both tell, he seems pretty on the level. Although there is definitely not a cold calculation, but he's very much so immediately kind of like sizing the two of you up as soon as you come, and it's like, actual people who might be able to afford something.
Gotcha.
Not marks per se, but like very much kind of like an honest businessman at the point in time. But he doesn't give off any like heebie-jeebie vibes. It's very much so someone who is in the idea or mind of a trader who's despise people who might actually be interested in willing and able to buy something or be interested in something else in the process.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad that they're not, gonna eat us or something.
The fuck? No!
You never know.
I love that's how the default at this point is. We're not getting
that
eaten.
That was one time!
It was one time too many.
But yes, there are all
Okay.
sorts of different wares set out at this point in time. Are you perusing anything individual, or do you just want to wait to flag him down when he is finished with his current customers?
Flag him down is kind of what I'm hoping for.
Okay. He finishes his. After a couple minutes, he finishes his conversation, selling a couple individuals a few different items before he turns and comes over to you with the kind of a bounding step and sets down in front of you and says, Good morning. My apologies for the delay. What may I help you with today?
I'm looking for a bit of spell scrolls, but this town is sadly lacking, and I was directed towards you.
I have a few prepared still, but I have a catalog in which you can peruse that might be of interest to you.
As the words catalog get said, Allegan gets really excited.
And he pulls out from underneath one of the tables what appears to be a thicker, heavy ledger, and sets it on the table in front of you. And which for him, he has access to any spells 6th level or lower on the wizard spell list.
Ooh, okay.
That's okay. All right.
But most of them he does not have immediately scribed, but he can scribe any of those.
Okay.
As you are perusing, he turns over. While your friend is taking a look through the book, is there anything I might be able to do?
You are cutting out so
You
bad.
cut out really badly.
Sorry,
Liv.
my apologies. He will ask and turn towards you, Raya, and ask if there's anything that he can do or do for you.
Hmm. Well, you wouldn't have to have anything like I don't know, some. Okay, above table. What is that chalk called that glows? I can't. Or is that? No, that's
Chalk that glows.
I'm thinking of something else. Illusory skip is an actual spell, not an actual like thing right there. No.
Correct.
Okay. No,
But he can write. He can write. He can write you. He can probably provide you with like illusory script ink if you would like, or other things like that.
Oh. Say less. Okay. Let's try some illusory script ink.
All right, so. Okay, so it's a first level spell, ritual. So he would give, so each bottle of this would cost, since it's a first level spell, each bottle of this would cost you 50 gold pieces. It would have 4 charges within it.
Okay. All right, I can go ahead and do that. Yes, I can go ahead and do.
And
that
he would
right there.
have, he would have 2 bottles to sell. So.
I would take the 2 bottles.
Right. So yeah. So each one basically it's an item that would basically have at that point in time the ability, consumable, 4 times to cast the illusory script spell.
Okay. And that is down 100 right there. Probably not going to be anything major, but it will help on those important messages that he has to send to people.
Really? Are there any other potions or the like that you would wish to purchase while you are here? I primarily deal in consumables. I am not one for significant items of wear and tear unless you are a return customer. Certainly you understand.
Oh, wait a second. Would that mean that he wouldn't have to have potions of fire, potions of dragon breath, would he?
He would indeed have potions of fire breath.
Fuck it, I like that. I'm gonna get another one of those.
Okay, so potion of fire breath, that is an uncommon, so that would cost you. That would be 130 gold pieces.
Okay. Okay. 130 pieces.
And he would have 4 of those to sell if you were interested.
Just one.
Okay.
Alright. But yeah, that is it.
No other potions or anything else like that?
We might want to pick up some health potions. It may not be a bad idea.
There. Okay.
He'd be able to sell you up to 6 regular healing potions. He has a set limit for how many he will sell to each group.
That's cool.
So those are 50 gold a pop. And then he would have 2 greater healing potions per group that he would be willing to sell, and those are those are half that. So those are 220 gold pieces per. And he does have 3 superior healing potions, which those are 1,750 gold each.
Okay. You got it, Doc?
This catalog is very good. Asking about the price. What is your standard rate?
For spells for cantrips, those are rudimentary. Those will take me a day to create and will cost 50 gold apiece. For first and second level spells, those are usually run you more closer to 100 and 115 gold per. Third and fourth are more in the range of 400 gold pieces, up to 600 for some of the more popular ones. Fifth and sixth are more in the range of 1,000 to 1,000 plus.
All right. Just doing the math here real quick and seeing if I can afford this. Yeah, I think it'll be all my money, but I think I can do this.
You can ask Safi for some money.
Safi, can I have
Right
some
up
money
my-
retroactively?
Yeah. How much do you need?
Like 1,000.
That's a lot, Doc. But yeah, sure. Here you go. Here's 1,000.
I'm gonna be able to send messages to whoever we want as long as I know them. So yeah, it's really worth it.
Hey.
Go nuts.
Okay.
Uh,
I need to ask this. In this case, is Allegan the Discord kitten?
Yes.
The
Yes.
sugar baby, but yes.
I can't believe you've done this. Yeah, let me just math this really quick. That would be... it's 600 and 715. So it's 1,715 that I would pay.
Okay, what spells are you getting?
I'm going to get Vitriolic Sphere, Bestow Curse, Sending Tongues, and Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
And is there any chance of me possibly improving my pricing here so we can save a little bit of money? I'm not gonna like ask for a discount on everything, but I'm gonna look through it.
Right. So Raya, for you,
Uh,
how many? So you bought. So Raya, you bought the 2 inks, and you bought a potion of fire breath. And then how many potions of healing or otherwise did you buy?
I did not buy any potions of healing. I did as I. Oh wait.
I can do that.
Okay.
How much are per potion of healing?
The potions of healing you can sell up to 8 for a group, so those cost you 50 per. So to buy all 8 would be 400 gold pieces. And then greater and superior he also has.
Which
you said to buy
which
all of
combination?
them?
So greater would cost 225, and he has 3 of those. And
And he'll only sell us 3?
the greater he'll only sell you 3 because he has limited stock of those. And he has superior, which he'll sell you, which those are 1750 per, because those are 8d4 plus 8.
Okay.
I don't think we should do with the superior right now.
I'm also gonna pick up catnap if I can. Sorry, I just saw Safi's message.
So that's a
I believe
second
it's
level.
a second level.
Yeah, that's the second. So that would be another. There'll be another
400.
115.
Oh, sorry, 115. That's right.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, Raya, do you get anything from short rest?
No.
Okay, so you would be the odd one out there. But have the party be able to gain their ship back would be useful.
Correct.
Great. Okay, so I'll pick up catnap as well, which does bring me to 8.
Well,
no.
Yeah, 1,830.
Yeah, 1,830. Riveting math. From a bunch of homosexuals who don't know how to do it. 1830, and then can I pick up 4 of the minor, or like the normal healing potions?
Yep,
and
for
then
200.
2 of the greater healing potions?
Or another 450. So the total cost at the point in time would be
Help.
2,480 gold pieces. So go ahead and make me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Since I'm assuming you're trying to haggle.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually really decent.
I'll help.
Okay. Oh, you'll.
So I'll
can I
give you
get
advantage.
Okay. Not better than what I got initially, so that's fine. That's persuasion, you said?
Correct.
19.
19. He doesn't necessarily have all those spells immediately prepared. He'll have to craft them, so he'll have them ready for you in a couple days. But since you're willing to wait at the point in time rather than saying, "Hey, I need them right now," he'd be willing to sell it all to you for 2,250.
2,250?
Yeah.
I could do that. That's all of my money, but yeah.
I will give 500.
He also has spell scribing materials if you want any.
Okay, if Raya is helping, then yes, I do have some spell components I need to refresh.
You did this to yourself.
I did do this myself. I chose to be a component-based wizard, and now I'm sitting here being like, fuck, I don't have enough amber in my bag. Yeah, I will get back to you on that, because I have to, like, go through my spells and see which ones need what.
Yep. Those he'd sell to you at cost, because those are active spell requirements. And then you can also buy like pen and paper from him, or ink and paper for him for actually scribing spells into your spellbook.
Yes.
And he can also sell those to you at cost as well. So you just tell me how much you wish to buy, and we'll go from there.
I already have a couple, but isn't it like depending on the spell level is how many pages it takes?
Yeah, it's 50 gold per spell level worth of material.
Okay. How much are these? For 40 gold. Yeah, that's right. So.
Alright. Well, then while we're doing that, we will go then over to, well, between Ateris and Saffron, who would like to go next?
What
I
have you
got
got
stuff
planned?
I gotta do with it. I got stuff to do with Allegan, and I got some other things. TM.
All right, a terrace will
Alright.
go then.
Yeah.
Was a terrace when she went to that druid on the outskirts? Was she able to get out a message to Fulgrim?
The druid sent the message, yes, but you don't necessarily. The bird travels for 24 hours or for up for a period of time at that point in time. So
Yeah.
they know they're on. They know that that the bird was sent off, and you don't know necessarily if Fulgrim be there, because you do remember that Fulgrim was traveling for a month after he had met with you, so he will be. So he may not necessarily get the message, but you have sent him one.
Okay, good to know. Were they able to also take away the green?
For the spell magic, yes, they would, I believe. Let me just double check.
Just so I know what I need to do this session. Because I think Ateris is kind of getting sick of being green with red squiggles.
Yeah, because they can cast Remove Curse, so
Okay.
yeah, they can remove that from you.
Easy done. Okay, then her other things she wanted to do.
They will ask you for, in terms of payment, they will ask you for a day of help with their garden.
That's easy. She can do that. I think outside of that, she would want to be scoping the area that she knows the prize pool is being kept in. She wants to get a bit of a lay of the land, see what entrances she can find while scouting. Just get a general layout of the area.
So she would know the prize pool is being kept at the Adamant Crucible itself. That
Yes.
it's part of the actual whole Colosseum area. So I will give you. You're trying to get a scope of the land, not necessarily look for like secret entrances and things like that. Yes, or are you actively trying to look for like ways in and out, or just getting a general feel?
She just wants to see if she can find any sort of additional entrances that might be less guarded or the like. I don't think she's actively looking for secret entrances, but she knows that other people are also after this journal. So she's trying to, get a leg up if we can, just in case it comes to the point where we need to break in and get it.
Okay, so this will then be an investigation check, because it would be survival if you're just trying to get the general feel for the area. But if you're actively looking for specific entrances in and out and ways in and out, then this is an investigation check. Well, actually, I'll do this first. Go ahead and make me a survival check so you can get the general feel of the land.
Okay. What's my survival? +2, so that is a 21.
21. Alright, then I'll say you can make the investigation check with advantage of worry, because you have an idea of where you think the most likely entrances and exits may or may not be.
Okay. Thank fuck for advantage, because that first roll was a 1. Investigation is a +3 for a 19.
19. From what you can tell, there appear to be a couple different entrances. There are the primary gates, which has a large number of other additional accessible entrances for the common folk, for adventurers, and other things like that. It's a fairly large open front area to allow individuals to enter into the stands and similar. You would also see that find that there is one side entrance, what appears to be for guards and servants. There does appear to be a more infrequently used set of side doors that are large, that look like they probably you have probably catch the sight of like at least one or two large covered wagons being brought into, and the smell of animal scent comes into them. So you probably can tell that there's at least one area for that has a beast pit, or at least a beast entryway. You would also see that there is another entrance that is fairly well guarded, but it appears to be much more elegant, is the best way to say it. Like, it actually has like kind of a carpeted entryway and steps in and out that looks like is more for visiting nobility and similar for the like. There are also a number of windows on the second and third stories that lead up into that give internal light, and then of course the roof is open itself.
Good to know. I think outside of that, the only thing she really specifically had to do outside of training was to meet up with Sidis.
Okay, go ahead and make a d20 roll for me, please.
And that is a nat 20.
Nat 20.
Wasting my nat 20 on this.
Yeah, it's while you're out scouting the land at this point in time, probably scouting the whole crucible itself, you would see a very familiar group going into the primary entrance of the
No.
crucible.
Oh no!
They're here.
Hi.
No.
But the 20 is the fact that you see them, they don't see you.
Ateris needs to make a roll.
Oh no!
Ateris is going to be smart and not follow after them. She is just going to make note that they are indeed
Thank
here.
God.
She succeeded on her wisdom save. How are they looking though?
In what way?
Do they look stronger than when we last met them? Have they upgraded their looks? Are they looking worse for wear?
I will give you a perception check at advantage since you know what you're looking for.
Okay, dokie. Perception checks are good for me. So
We're told to hydrate.
Thank you. That is a 27.
Ooh.
27. A couple things you notice. Lethaid has a new staff.
Gross.
Cherry is clad in full plate.
Mm-hmm.
You would see that there is a floating stone around. Why am I forgetting his name?
Indra?
Shinjiro's. Yeah, there's a floating stone around Shinjiro's head, and the whip has been replaced with the one that he had earlier into something a little bit more elaborate. And the other Asimar, Heraclin, thank you. I don't know why my brain was blanking on their names. their face, they now have a fully set. They have a full set of robes along with a hood, with a shining golden breastplate over it.
Okay.
And they have a mace without, or at least they have what appears to be a handle of a weapon at their side that does not have a head.
Okay. She will make note of that before.
I will also say that Lethaid looks older.
Oh.
Lethaid looks older. Cherry has a heavy scar across her face, but she's still smiling brightly.
Because of course she
And
is.
Shintaro has an additional tail.
Okay. Good to know. She will make note of this and continue on before they see her.
Okay. Make a stealth check with advantage for me, please.
Mm, 18?
Okay. You are off without, at least what you think so, without them being none the wiser.
I don't think she's going to be like trying to be sneaky per se. She's just going to, you know, casually leave so it doesn't draw attention of anyone else. But
Sure.
she's definitely leaving before she thinks they see her.
Fair enough.
And yeah, she will meet up with Sidis to have their discussion about the pact.
All right. Then at that point in time, you would probably meet up with Sidis at a different tea house than the one you had met at before. Probably closer to the lakeside area, in one of the finer district that has that has various different trees and taller buildings along the side. And he at this point in time is. Once you let him know, he was waiting there for you and welcomes you in and sits down and said, anything to eat for you? Do you wish to go straight to business?
We'll have a meal. It's been some time since we've
Wonderful.
done this.
Well, I hope you and your friends do understand that I'm not here to attempt to eat you or anything at that point in time. We have entered into a partnership, and I wish to abide by that.
They'll make do.
Very well. Then, what questions may I answer for you about our agreement?
I've completed my part of the challenge, the hunt, so to speak.
I am aware.
So what now?
Now it's more up to you. Moments in time of when you call upon the abilities granted to you, and perhaps other tasks will be assigned to you to grant continuing powers or the like. It is not a clear-cut path. The way of the hunter is more of self-discovery than anything else, and of creating your own tools to put into play and then accentuating those with the powers that I can help provide for you and have in connection to you. If you wish to have me search out for different things for you to attempt to hunt, or if you wish to have requests made of you, I can certainly see about asking that, or you can attempt to ask yourself from the agree, but that is a dangerous thing to attempt to fulfill.
I have my own targets for now, plus we have our deal. Has there been any updates as to the journal?
And so far, no, none that I've been able to ascertain. It remains within the, well, amongst the champion's purse at this point of time, which, as far as I'm aware, grows daily. New groups that have all come in and from afar fields to try their hand in it. And so far as I've been told, it's swelled now to over 150,000 gold pieces.
And do you know anything of the other teams that might be after the journal?
No, those are being more kept obscured for me. I
Part of your game.
do know of one. Well, part of the game in that there are others who will certainly be interested in all sorts of details of my own books and journals. So, I would not be surprised if there are some daemon folk amongst the competitors. Keep an eye out for those that appear out of touch with the modern realm, or who pick up names that do a bit odd than anything else.
Like the flaming rods.
Entirely possible, certainly. It would not be, you could see, kind of cracks a smile. That would be as much of a naming convention as the less clever amongst them could muster, certainly.
She'll grin. And how is your healing?
It's better by the day. It's still stiff and sore, but I've had worse. Thank you for asking. And how goes your compatriots' studies? Do they find themselves emboldened by the task before them?
Making progress, it seems. I have not been keeping too close of a tab. I've been busy keeping an eye on things.
Well, if you ever wish to come work for me full-time, do know that my door is open.
I appreciate the offer. I think she spends a bit of time just kind of having lunch with him before she heads back.
Alright. And that's that. And then that's kind of the end of that week. And then for Saffron, we move on to you.
Oh boy.
Well, actually, we'll catch up here with Allegan real quick, just double check. Have you made all your final purchases, Midge?
That's
I
important.
have bought everything, and I had asked people for money again. So,
I gave you an extra 1,000 gold because you're broke and I have the money. It's okay.
Oh, Ateris would
Fair
have
enough.
absolutely told the others about the other party
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
and everything she saw.
Training
Why
harder.
does he look
Training
old,
harder.
though?
No
H
question.
does not treat him
question.
well.
Huh. Weird. Can't wait to rub his nose in it. That's gonna be funny.
Oh! Ow! Ah!
Cat
He's
attack.
got
Suddenly,
he got
cat
attacked by cat.
Thank you for
Speaking
the
of cat
extra money, because
attacks.
I was able to buy more giant slug bile.
I got you.
Giant slug bile.
I
Oh.
needed it.
Just girly
Also,
things.
Cass, thank you for the boon.
Those girly things.
Alright, then we move on to Saffron for the end of this week.
Yeah.
What are you
Um,
intending to do during your second week of downtime?
He is trying to find Allegan because it's time. He's been mulling over everything that happened. He was trying to figure out, okay, what did I do? I put hands on the weird dog. Weird dog healed. Did I do that? I don't know. I should probably learn a little more about healing, though, because maybe I'm just really good at it, and I just didn't know, or something. So, he's gonna go to the good doctor. Just be like, Allegan. Allegan.
What?
Oh
And
my
you just
God.
see that he has his bag, which is normally not open, spread around him, and there are just vials and like small bags of like powders and what looks like he is currently he's currently assembling like a small play structure and like putting it in like a little cage. Yes?
Huh. I actually don't want to know what the fuck you're doing.
It's for magic.
So, yeah, no, I figured. And he just sort of sits down. So, I gave you a lot of money. Yeah?
Yes.
Would you say that you now maybe owe me a small favor?
He kind of does like the mental math of how much money he's been given. Indeed, I would say yes.
Okay. Now, I say this is a favor, but I feel like it's also an opportunity because I feel like I'm giving you a gift with this favor, all right?
I feel slightly threatened right now, and I don't know why.
Allegan, can you teach me about anatomy?
Yes, what is this sudden interest in?
It's an incredibly long story, and I feel like I'd be able to maybe explain it as soon as I actually know some things. Maybe. Potentially.
Okay. It would help to know what brought this on.
I'm just interested in healing magic shit. And healing the body. Shit, I said the magic, didn't I? He just straight up just said, I said the magic part, didn't I? Ah, fuck. Do I even really have to roll?
I just got a natural 20, so you make that decision.
Iconic!
What is with these today?
Iconic. Yeah.
The dice say.
Fox, you gotta make a nat 20 now.
Yeah, gosh. No pressure. You can see on Taffy's face, he's very much been mulling something over. He's been trying to figure something out for a while now, and he's hit a roadblock, and at this point, Allegan is his only path forward, and he is maybe just a little bit desperate.
Saffron, you seem out of sorts, and if I can help, I'd like to. But maybe talking about whatever this is?
What? No, that's stupid. Just teach me anatomy and stuff, and then I'll figure things out.
No. Just... Look.
Saffron. No.
It is maybe not a bad idea to talk about things, especially if they could affect people like yourself. What exactly brought this on?
Allegan, do you want to teach me about anatomy and stuff, or should I go to a temple of Ilmater and get my answers there?
I feel like I am being baited, and it's working, but I do still think it's maybe not a bad idea. I will still teach you anatomy even if you don't say anything, but and he like puts his little clay ziggurat that he was making off to the side and kind of sweeps his stuff into his bag. You are a very complex individual, and I want to help if I can. But why the sudden interest in anatomy? This isn't a sex thing, is it?
What? No. I already know all that anatomy. No, this is literally like I'm trying to learn how to help better with the healing and stuff. Cause, we get in fights, someone gets really fucked up, and you know how fast I can go. So if someone gets really hurt, I could maybe get to them really quickly and make sure that they don't die. So
That is a very good point. All right. And he will pull, because I wrote down that Allegan brought some of his journals with him. And
hell yeah.
yeah, a lot of the weight in my backpack is books.
Anatomy books.
Incredible.
It's not all focused on that. There's also, other things.
Other things, TM.
But yeah, I'll start with Saffron and teach him basic anatomy.
Yippee.
Alrighty. So at this point in time, Elegant, I will have you go ahead and make an intelligence-based medicine check for me, please.
Oh, okay.
Would he have
That would
proficiency
be-
in this?
Oh, okay. So this is the question. Are you proficient in medicine?
I am.
And then what is your intelligence? +4, +5?
It's +4.
Right. So go ahead and roll a d20 and add 7.
Okay.
Sheesh. Tasty.
That would be a 22.
22. All right, Saffron.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make me an intelligence check at advantage.
At advantage. Okay.
Because Allegan
might-
is coherent enough and is able to explain this subject in a detailed enough manner that they are
Come on.
basically giving you help in beginning to understand medicine.
I'm going to use my portent roll of 17. So
Okay.
it's an intelligence check or saving throw.
Yes. Check.
Check. So it's just a flat 17.
Flat 17. Okay. So for you at this point in time, you are beginning to gain and get the grasp of medicine and anatomy and things like that. And probably by the end, if you spend another week with Allegan at this point in time, and them teaching you medicine, you would be able to start what you're going for.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Wild.
And I will hand over 2 of my anatomy books to Saffron to work with if they'd like.
Yeah. Books. Fuck yeah.
Easy enough. All right. Is there anything anybody else would like to do during this first week of downtime? Or is there that technically will be the first half of your week, Saffron? You do have a second part you'll be able to do.
Yeah. Second part is meditating on the gloves.
Okay. Then I will just have you go ahead and make a wisdom check for me, please.
Okay.
Don't forget, you can.
Oh, shit, nice.
You can use boons for these if you want.
No, I'm good. That's a crisp 22.
Crisp
Hell yeah.
22. Okay, what time of day are you doing this? And are you finding solitude? Are you going out anywhere? Are you doing this in the piece of your room?
Is there... Is there a high vantage point, like sort of like a tall hill, a small cliffside, something like that? Something with brisk wind and a view.
There is, but it's a bit of a hike outside of the city itself. Because there's a nearby cliff that does jut into the south side of the lake itself, but so it's probably about a good 10-mile round trip.
That's
do
nothing.
that. Okay. Are you going by yourself, or are you taking somebody with you?
Wilderness. So he'd ask Terrace if she wants to join him.
Yeah, Terrace will go.
Okay. So the two of you spend a day going out to the nearby like Dragonback at this point in time and clamber up to itself. And there, it is definitely windy overall. And you can look across Lake Emerstal and looking over the entire city of Emrys at this point in time. And it's sprawling out into the city it is now, and you can see is the city is bustling, moving around, people moving around it with like ants and various different ships upon the dark waters of the lake itself. You sit and you begin to fall into that meditation. You sit at 22, so you hear kind of that same blowing wind and focus on it as you fall into meditation practices that you haven't really done in a long time. This is something you did more when you were younger, not this, and was still fairly early coming into this interim. And you fall into this practice, slow your breathing until just the blowing wind is all that you can hear as your eyes growing distant. You're focusing on the gloves, and there's this gentle pulse you can feel of them kind of flowing up into you. And as you're focusing on them, Terrace, how nearby are you?
Reasonably, giving Safi their space, but like close enough to be on hand if needed, because I don't have the speed that they do.
Okay. You would, because your passive perception is so high, you would see the gloves on Saffron's hands glow slightly brighter as flowering briars begin to kind of grow out from the gloves and wrap up around Saffron's arms.
Would
Slowly.
I know what this means?
You can make an Arcana check if you would so like.
Let's see.
Probably good. Totally not being possessed. It's fine.
Totally not being possessed. By a god's artifact. Arcana is a +3, so 17?
17? You get the feeling that they are tapping into the latent energy within the gloves in of itself, and whatever they're doing is causing the gloves to awaken or be drawn up upon them, and is certainly it's something that definitely you would know of, like when someone that tries to find a deeper attunement to whatever item that they're connecting with. You've probably heard this happening to items of significant power within Legends, that there are some that do take periods of time to awaken or become more attuned to the wielder in some way, shape, or form, or even grow with them in the process.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the feeling that Saffron, in some way, shape, or form, is attempting to tap into that essence in some fashion.
Yeah, so she be familiar with this because it's similar to Shikai in that sense.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, she'll just sort of watch, let it happen.
Okay. For you, Saffron, as the blowing wind is going, would hear it slightly change. And the blowing wind becomes almost harsher, drier, tinged with smoke. And you would see, blink in a moment, and you'd see people rushing around, and a wanderer passing through a village filled with people that bear horrific wounds from perhaps a nearby battle of some way, shape, or form. And you see this individual bandages across their arms, leading down to the gloves, set aside, even though you could feel exhaustion through your own bones, through your own body after what feels like maybe weeks of walking. Set their stuff up to the side and begin digging through a pack and begin administering aid. No thanks, no words of encouragement, not even understanding the language around you. At first, people kind of shove you and push you up to the side, shouting at you angrily. But as you continue to work and close wounds and stop blood and save people, there's more of this hush, dull quiet that kind of begins to resound out from around you. And you blink again, and it's a similar image, like your hands against people's bodies and closing wounds and healing broken bones. But the air around you is thick and heavy with cold, shivering in your own cloth at this point in time. And it shifts again, and there's dappled sunlight filtering through trees, but the smell of smoke is heavier. And you can, as you're pulling arrows out of wounds and staunching the blood and sealing them closed shut. And you hear a whisper in your mind that asks, do you seek to help even if no thanks or help is given in kind? Do you seek to help so that others may not have to endure what you have?
And it's asking Safi.
Yes.
Almost everything I've done in my life has been thankless. Actually being able to do something good, though, I don't mind not getting thanks.
Paris, you would watch as you see Saffron's lips kind of mutter slightly as these rose branches suddenly, or like these rose brambles kind of grow and move and suddenly and begin flowing over their face, creating this vestige of a mask in some fashion, with a brilliant yellow rose in the middle of the forehead.
Would I recognize that?
That's so sick.
Go ahead and make a history check.
That is a 18 plus 3. So a flat 20.
You would recognize
21, sorry.
21. You would recognize the Yellow Rose as one of the orders of Ilmater, that the god of helping hands and of enduring punishment and of self-sacrifice. The Order of the Yellow Rose is one that is particularly famous and typically has their monastery on the northern shores of the Sea of Fallen Stars. And you recognize that it's the same kind of golden yellow rose on the gloves itself. And you watch as the vines kind of finish filtering out from the gloves, and now a full mask now created over Saffron's face. That brilliant yellow golden rose in full bloom. And Saffron, you would hear, "Then let us be the first to offer thanks, to help those in need. You may not hear it often, but we welcome you with open arms. And we look forward to seeing you blossom on this new path." And you kind of blink and come to wakefulness as the mask falls off into your open, outstretched hands, and you look down into it now.
Ah, ow. Sharp. Why are you sharp? Ah, ha. Bramble, bramble, bramble. Just sort of blinks, looks around, sees a terrace. Hey.
Not the worst god to choose.
Honestly, I mean, it's not really the
It's
god, it's more just a message.
Safi. There's no judgment here. Just because
Really?
I have my qualms with Helm. And
Most divinity?
not most. Allegan dislikes most, but my issue is with Helm, and Helm alone. If you can find what you need in someone, that is up to you. And I am happy for you.
I just want to try and help people.
And that is what you do. We need more of that in this world. And that's exactly why I have my qualm with Helm. He is not helping as much as he is harming. So, I look forward to seeing what you can do with that thing during the event. She'll give a bit of a smile.
I honestly have no idea what I can do now. But
You
something
saved.
feels different.
You saved my dog. You're already one up.
Yeah. Yeah. That was weird.
I can imagine.
Allegan was getting on my case about it, about me learning anatomy and stuff from him. I think I might be starting to understand what happened. I kind of healed your dog with some magic, I think.
Terrace will nod. You've come a long way from the magic-hating cat that we first met.
Oh, I still hate this shit. I think I figured out a way to do it that isn't... And he sort of does, like, jazz hands. Magic, you know?
You do the term magic, and your hands slightly glow.
Oh, fuck off!
One glows gold, and one glows gold, the other glows black.
Wait, that's kind of cool. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, you fucking magic people!
A Terrace will grin. For what it's worth, I kind of hate being a paladin too.
Yeah.
I can
feel like
smooth things
saying
over with
something.
Allegan if you need.
I mean, I can actually maybe talk to him about it now that I maybe understand what the fuck happened. But yeah, he was getting on my case of like, oh, Safi, which, can I just say, coming from Allegan is the most ironic situation of just like, oh, why don't you talk about your problems and your feelings? From Allegan. From Allegan.
We've all been
The
bad
insult.
at that at times. I appreciate
Anyway.
your help with things.
That's what I do.
The
And
Terrace will
now
nod.
I do it professionally. And he wiggles his fingers. And his hands glow again.
A Terrace will nod a bit.
Safi's gonna pick up the mask. And it's just gonna be like, just puts it on his eyes. And it's just like, how do I look?
Suitably mysterious.
Hell yeah.
Better than Lethead.
I mean, okay, that is the bar is in the hells when it comes to that. So anyways, we can head back. I needed a little bit of time to sit with the gloves.
Do you mind sitting with me for a little longer?
Yeah, sure.
A Terrace will sort of walk over and sit at the edge of the cliff, sort of looking over everything. This reminds me of my home. Of Elturel before everything went to shit.
Oh,
It's nice.
good view.
The city was built on the edge of a cliff, overlooking the river and the fields. It was nice. Didn't have you guys though, so it was missing some things.
Daw, you softy.
Don't you tell too many people, it will ruin my reputation.
Nah, my lips are sealed. I rely on that reputation. It's the thing. I can't really tell anyone.
Terrace will grin, and she'll just sort of sit there with Safi for a little bit before they head back.
Yeah.
All right, then you two will head on back. All right, and then this is.
If I can do one last thing, it's tiny.
Yes.
Safi is going to start, at very least planning, because he knows he has to do this really fucking safely. He's going to start planning on engraving some grooves into his claws.
Okay. I would say you could. You have extensive training with your jeweler's tools, so I would say that that is something that you can do. You can start the process of that. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. That's it.
Are you going
alright,
to line them with silver?
No, I can have
Oh.
poison in them.
Yes.
Poisoned claws, baby!
Raya or Elegant, is there anything else the two of you would like to do with the second half of your week?
Ursa, I forgot to ask, on that first week, how much was that to send that letter that I made? How much was it to send, and how much to send it as fast as possible?
How much to send it was, well, how much to send it as fast as possible? There's a sending spell that you could use, that's 25 words at that point in time, which that
Fuck that.
costs.
We are no sending stone, actual letter.
Sending an actual letter to that location would, as fast as possible, would probably cost you 5 gold.
Yeah, I can do that. It completely slipped my mind to even ask.
Yes, you have not had a response yet.
Okay, but I guess since Raya's currently unemployed now, he's gonna just find some quiet places to actually practice on his own, using what little he was able to learn from the dance club.
Okay. Then I would say that probably then, because you have more time to yourself at this point in time, if you were spending the full latter half of this week plus the whole first week at that point in time, you would gain training in performance.
Sweet. Okay.
Okay. Anything for you, Elegant?
I would like to, if I can get some spells copied down.
Yep.
I would do that.
Yeah, because keep in mind, so the spells are just done like per hour. So middle of the week. So I would say that you probably bought the spells start of the week. Middle week was when all the spells were delivered to you. So you have about 3 days worth of spell scribing ability left to you.
Okay.
So I would say you have 8 hours in each of those days, because you're also teaching saffron medicine a couple of those days.
Okay. I think I can get everything copied down then.
All right.
I've got 2.5 days, so 20 hours.
Yep. So you would have 24 hours available of spell scribing ability. So.
Okay. I think the first spell I'm going to scribe is sending, and I would like to send a message to Sam.
Okay.
If I can.
What would you like to send to them?
I'm just kind of doing this in our little, bubble that, I imagine
Okay.
is where we're teaching Safi and everything else, as Allegan is spending the majority at the camp.
Fair enough.
And just, putting up the bubble at night. But he will sit down and, take, the little bit of, wire, and I just take that moment to figure out what he's going to say as he kind of just twists it between his fingers, before somewhat hesitantly, hello, Sam. I've finally got my spells together. I have missed hearing your voice, and I hope you're well, and that your new students are at least interesting. And send that off. And I counted it out, it's 25. Do I get anything back?
Yeah, there's a momentary pause, followed by classes are going well. A new curriculum has been implemented, but many lessons remain the same. I miss you, my friend. And it ends.
I will send back, burning another spell slot. Seeing how many I have to burn. Okay. A new curriculum? That sounds interesting. You'll have to tell me about it in response to the letter. I am compiling many stories to tell. I think that was 25. I counted it out rather quickly.
Yep. I received your last communication. I have been mulling a response. Will you be in the same spot for a time?
Fuck it, I'll burn my last 3rd level spell slot. This hasn't gone poorly for me in the past. Yeah. I will be in Emrys for the tournament. You can send letters here. I promise Aloe will be an interesting addition to the school.
I can't remember when I've had such a unique student.
Putting it lightly.
She is charming. And her stories are illuminating.
She's been telling us secrets.
Yes.
I will send a letter on the morrow.
Yeah, and with that, I will pack it in for sleepy times.
Would a
All
terrace have been there while you were using the sending spell?
If you were in the bubble, you were with me, so yeah.
A terrace is sitting there, like, looking like the proudest mum right now.
You wouldn't have heard that. You wouldn't have heard that response.
I would have
She-
relayed it.
She would have heard Allegan's response to it. At the very least.
I would have relayed the message to you.
Yeah, a terrace is proud of their chaotic child.
Our chaos baby.
Okay.
Maybe a little concerned that our secrets are being told in the school.
Oh, they absolutely are. Not a doubt in my mind.
All right. And then with that, I think this is a good opportunity for us to take a break. And when we come back,
break time.
we'll continue on
Break
to
time.
the end of week 2 and see how week 3 plays out.
Yeah. Right. Back shortly, gang. Also,
See you in
hi
a bit.
Zelda. Hi, darling. I hope you're being good for mom. Be good, guys. We will be back. Okay, we are muted. Fucking fired. But also, you got some interesting information out of that. If you choose to share that with the group. Oh, apparently I'm not muted.
Hello, everyone, and we're back.
There.
Hi.
Welcome on back to joining us here on And We Went Out Roving, where the gang is enjoying some much-needed and wanted downtime, I think. Getting the chance for the characters to actually breathe and enjoy and just learn a little bit more about themselves in the process and the choices they make. At this point in time, the end of the second week of downtime comes to the close, and the opening preliminaries of the tournament they are going to be taking place. This is a question for all of you. Do any of you wish to watch or see any of the kind of the early tourney games itself?
I think it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt to see who in the competition we would need to look out for.
Ateris is going to say yes, just in case she needs to get a lay of the land from inside.
Alrighty, so Terrace is going. Anyone else?
I'm going. Rye's going.
Okay, Terrace and Ryan. Are Alligator and Saffron spending time to themselves?
No, I think Safi's gonna watch just because he wants to sort of. He wants to see. He's not actually going to be watching any of the games. He wants to see who's in the crowd.
That's
Sure thing. All right. So, the first day of the preliminaries and as the final days of the signing up for the event are being closed. Let me check here something real quick. There's there they are. So the total prize pool for the event, alongside of various different items and things that will be within the purse, the expected allotment of prize pool money comes to 185,000 gold pieces.
damn.
Damn.
Hot damn.
The final
nice shiny coin.
It's a nice shiny coin at that point in time.
Plus
But as the first day,
additional items.
plus additional items, with some of which are maybe worth more, some may be worth less, and there's definitely many who are interested in terms of the prize pool itself. As you find yourselves in amongst the crowd as they're heading towards the various preliminaries, it's quite a sight. Probably close to the city itself has swollen in number these last few days with the upcoming event, where beforehand the city itself, which usually hovers around 25,000 people, as its number has swollen to almost 40, maybe even 50,000 people. Nearly all the nearby fields are filled with wagons of different types. You can see other various different contraptions and how hovels and houses have been all set. You can see there's one field that is filled with a number of different horses and various different clans that have come up from the Sha'ar in order to participate or to view and see. And you can even see a few enormous elephants that have surrounded a number of different fields as well, like enormous pagodas on their backs. Shimmering down from them will appear to be dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of halflings. A whole eclectic mix of peoples have come to this event to see and watch and cheer and have it be a part of this enormous event. And as you'll filter into the stadium itself, it is filled to near capacity, probably close to maybe 30,000 people into attendance. All right, and then so we can. Are you all trying to sit on the upper level, lower level, somewhere in the middle?
Safi at least is drifting.
But same for Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Ateris would suggest we get seats somewhere on the lower level, and then we can drift as needed.
Fair
But
enough.
if we're just wandering without sitting, there's a good chance we'll get, asked to leave.
All right. As the last of the individual, as people continue to filter in, the seats begin to fill up and up and up. Are you all looking out for people immediately, or are you just kind of like settling in for the moment?
Ryan's looking immediately.
Ateris is going to
Great.
set for the start.
Okay, then whoever may so wish can go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh wow.
You said that there's some like tribes or something of the Shar.
Yeah, of the Sha'ar, there are various different beastmen tribes and similar that have come up from the Sha'ar in order to view and or participate.
Would Safi actually recognize any of them? Because he met with some Leonin back in fucking Dapplegate, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was Dapplegate, the one you got high with. Yeah.
There
Yeah,
is
too hot
indeed
Leonin.
there is indeed appears to be a Leonid tribe that have come up. You can see, and which they do not have a sponsor, so you know that they will be participating in the preliminaries. But you've also seen you've also seen groups of the Sha'ar that are. You've seen a Null group. You've seen a Loxodon group. You've seen a Centaur group, and you've seen a mix of Tabaxi folk as well.
Hell yeah.
Although the skin pelts are more vary between cheetah and jaguar and more tigerish rather than necessarily more kind of the classical, like you would be like more of a Maine Coonish type at that point.
Yeah, more big cats than domestic.
More big cats, and especially those that have more of a camouflage pattern to them, that not necessarily ones that are that they're broken up instead of like solid coats or colors and patterns. Make me an intelligence check with advantage.
Oh, okay. Okay, and... Okay, yeah, nice. 18.
18. The Leonid tribe that is here, you can see that a number of those that are participating as the various different preliminary groups are walking out into the arena itself to present themselves before the announcer. You would see that a number of the markings on them are similar to those that you'd met to the ones in Dapplegate. So either they are from the same tribe, or at least they bear similar markings at that point.
Hell yeah.
All right, then what are the perception checks for everybody else, please?
27.
24.
27, 24.
Damn.
I have
15.
expertise in perception.
15 for you, Allegan?
That was cocked.
Yes.
Dirty 20.
Very 20. Well, you, Saffron, are more focused on on the preliminary
yeah.
groups itself.
Yeah, you're good.
For you, Allegan, based upon the things that you're probably kind of keeping an eye out for, you don't see necessarily any that are from high city groups, or you don't necessarily see a whole lot of immediately recognizable mage or caster groups. There, you surmise there are at least a few different wizards within the different rankings, but not within any of the preliminary groups themselves. You get the feeling there might be more in terms of druids or clerics or sorceress casters, but you get the feeling that any that are wizards are probably, if they would be anywhere, they would be in one of the higher, more the groups that have been sponsored. That would be something that you would recognize. For
Gotcha.
Raya and Terrace, for the two of you, you would see delegations from all over Faerun up in the different kind of big seating boxes. You would see a delegation from Waterdeep, Silvery Moon, Mirabar, Sundbar, Mithril Hall, Kalimshan, the Evershays, pretty much any major city, or for lack of a better term, city state or country, has either sent a delegation, or there are nobles from those areas that have received enough interest to this place as to this location as it's grown larger in terms of the amount of stuff that have taken the trek to be here.
Okay.
You would, in the Terrace, you had the 27?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You would see, in one of the boxes, probably alongside of a number of different members from Yalash, you would recognize Lethead and the rest of his group.
Terrace will point that out to the others.
Oh, say less. Raya's gonna go ahead and get one of his playing cards. He's gonna use the light from it to, now that you know what it is, try to see if he can get it to get the sun in Shinjiro's eye.
Are you gonna draw their attention to us?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Why?
Maybe
Why?
literally anywhere else.
We're trying to scout out the competition and have a look at the layout of this place.
Also,
We don't need them.
let's be honest, they probably realize we're here. Let's be honest.
They already know. I just want to piss them. I just want to piss them off.
How about we don't?
Yeah, but
do
let's
that?
not get kicked out. Yeah?
Fine.
At which point, as the last of the preliminary groups, which at this point in time you can see that a full 80 groups has entered into this competition itself, at least in terms of the preliminaries, has marched out on the field with groups of all sorts of different types and sizes of ways, shapes, and forms.
Do we see? It wouldn't have to be like the that tabaxi with the kobolds and tricks go out on the field, are they?
No, they had enough money in order to show that they were a sponsored group.
Okay.
Where they got that money from is an entirely different question.
Okay.
Thievery.
Tomfoolery, shenanigans, even.
Indeed. But at this point in time, as a clarion call of trumpets is sounded, the hush falls over the crowd. At this point in time, the various different vendors stop hawking in the stands, and you would all look up to see, kind of standing from the big center box, flanked by 6 individuals in atrociously gaudy and opulent robes. Is a number of individuals that one can only describe them as obese with wealth, and to the point of extreme. Hands covered in dozens of glittering jewels and rings, piercings in a number of their ears, elaborate headdresses, robes that are made out of almost like silken gold cloth that has arcane runes on it stitched, which, Alligan, you, from both your textile experience and from your arcane experience, can see that they're enchanted to be lightweight, so that they don't have to so they're not weighing the individuals down, and you can only surmise that they're literally spun from gold.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's one of the most extravagant and opulent and excessive displays of wealth that any of you have ever seen. Of these 6 grand merchant dukes, like striding brazenly, displaying their wealth behind this individual at the very front of them, who can only be described as very well put together, but very Chaddish in that same way. Like chiseled jaw, fine manicure, plucked eyebrows, paint probably very, very lightly painted lips and a blush across his face, hair slicked back, long flowing locks that goes down to about mid back, dressed in finery, a very cream white shirt underneath a red wine doublet, a silver topped cane in their hand, crested with a dragon that's carved out of a diamond. As he steps forward and raises his hand, a cheer goes out across the crowd, and he says, welcome one and all to the first ever tournament of the 3 moons. Welcome one and all to our fine competitors seeking to claim glory and wealth beyond one's finest imaginings. Welcome one and all to the tournament at the Adamant Crucible. Thank you one and all for coming here to join us on this fine festive day, which shall conclude with the festival itself proper being established as a new tradition where all and any can have the possibility of glory and legends to be written in their name.
I hate this game
I am
already.
your humble host, Erosius Thorncall, and I bid you all welcome to this fine event. And now, without further ado, let the games commence. As he takes a step back, there's a shorter individual who steps up beside him at this point in time, and you can see kind of clears their throat and taps a jewel on their throat itself, and a booming voice echoes out across the crowd as he says and speaks that the preliminary groups are, their task will be actually to fight amongst one another at this point in time. That for those to pass on then would be you have to defeat your group until the last 8 teams available will then go on to participate in the main games along with the primary groups. There will be from here until the end of the week, and for the next 2 weeks, there will be different fights and competitions where there'll be a winner's bracket and a lower's bracket, and things progressing on at that point in time, and basically laying out the rules for the preliminary rounds at this point in time. You can see there's kind of for most people, there's a bit of a champing at the bit and a little bit of kind of a rising blood. Elegant, go ahead and make me an Arcana check, please.
Oh, hell yeah. How does a 29 do me?
Damn.
9.
Damn.
You get the feeling that with this individual's words that there is a very light undertone of magic being cast, and not necessarily one of offensive or otherwise, but it's more kind of very subtle magic of enchantment of enchantment magic that is there to kind of enrapture the crowd and kind of put everyone into a more not necessarily a bloodthirsty mood, but in the sense of wanting to see a fight happen.
Gotcha. So slight influence on mood.
Yes, very slight mood influence to kind of work the crowd at that point in time.
Is there a way that I could kind of shield my group from that? Or just myself?
I would say you, because you can know it and recognize it. I would say that you could that you have the mental ability to actively recognize it and be able to kind of push it out of your mind. I would say if you wanted to, you could spend. I would say you could if you could probably teach each of your compatriots with a day or so training a very light counter charm to be able to kind of ward off the basic influence. Anything more significant would require a spell slot, but this is something that you could use a cantrip for to kind of lessen the effect.
Gotcha. Cool. Alright.
But as the individual finishes speaking, you can see then that the various groups are being are at that point in time led off, and then you can all hear this heavy kind of crunch as suddenly there are shift in the stones and the earth of the packed arena floor, and short walls rise up, creating 10 separate smaller arenas within the main arena itself. And you see then at that point in time that after a brief waiting period, that various of the different groups are being brought in to face off against one another as the events of the different fights begin. So while these fights are going on at this point in time, what would any of you like to do? Or is there anything that any of you would like to do during kind of the first day of these tourney events?
I think after seeing the first bit of it, especially the first instance of the fights, Ryan would probably leave it at that and go about doing his own thing.
Okay.
I think once this begins and people are sort of more engrossed in the fight, Ateris is going to take a bit of a wander through the accessible areas just to get a bit of a lay of the land. She's also, I think, at some point going to come back and sit so that she can get a bit of a better look at the dukes.
Competition. Oh, the dukes themselves. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The wandering around, well, you get to know that there are, along the longer sides of the arena itself, there are 4 kind of stepway entrances, and then at each end there's a single larger stepway entrance. There are additional floor levels below in which you can see that where the main fight is kind of entering and out from, and they are connected between, but the entries into the lower levels are guarded. As well as are any of the that lead up into the upper passageways that are guarded as well. Most of them usually have 2 to 4 guards. You can see that those that guard the upper boxes have a much more significant guard number at the point in time, including those of various different. Actually, no, the personal delegations wouldn't have. The guards themselves would be all strictly eagles from Emrys. But for you, the Dukes itself. So go ahead and make me a perception check, please.
16 plus 8 is 24.
24. Among the Dukes, you can tell that there are 4 males and 2 females, although it's difficult in some aspects to ascertain one way or the other. They all appear human, and each of them are set up in their own, like, almost like after the main games, they are each set up their own private chairs, have 2 attendants, a number of guards behind them, and wait on hand and foot for nothing. Like, their food is brought to them. They drink from jeweled goblets filled with wine. You can see that they are opulence in excess.
Okay.
Give me a history check.
Plus 3, 15, 16, 17, 18.
18. You would know that the Grand Merchant Dukes are all hereditary lines, while the Overduke is an elected official by the people. But it's not It's not uncommon for the Grand Merchant Dukes to find some way in order to bring the Overduke under their thumb. In fact, it's been many a different tale that they will frequently drug into a wine-stupid sleep any Overduke or otherwise that would basically challenge their.
Okay.
The 6 families that you do know of the Overduke of the Grand Merchant Dukes are Bulliston. I will copy these names for you because they're long. Bulliston, Delanaver, Clornu, Lilrath, Orglast, and Relantovir.
And in the past, when I was working with the Hellriders, did I have any meetings with any of these people with my line of work as an ambassador?
They considered you as an ambassador. You would have probably met with the Relantovir family once. The others would not have paid you any interest or mind.
That would have been
family once.
my tieflingism.
Before your tieflingism, and the Relantovir because they are a family that deals in the horse trade.
Okay.
And you would know that they have extensive hold on many of the finer breeding stock of horses and other animals like within the primary area around Emrys itself. And to the point, and you would know them as haughty and completely egotistical and self-centered, and the best description I can give you at this point in time is Trump.
Ew.
Brother,
Yeah. Like disassociated from the world. I would say also with that, you would probably, with the time spent, you would probably also have gotten the names of the current Overdukes or Grand Merchant Dukes. So I will put all this and their names into the lore for everyone archives.
thank you.
Grazie.
So, would my idea be okay for this, or wait?
What's your idea?
Don't worry about
Uh, uh, uh.
We are not giving
then-
Lethad or the Duke sleep paralysis demons right now. At least wait until we win the
Fine.
competition.
Fine, okay, fine.
Alright, so that's what Ateris and Ray are doing. Saffron, what are you doing?
Safi is, as soon as the other group is pointed out, Safi is going to basically just spy on them as much as he can while staying out of sight.
Okay. You would notice that in the box is only Lethad, Shinjiro, and Cherry. Heraclin is not there. And Cherry leaves after the first round. And Shinjiro and Lethad stay for most of it. Lethad with an amused expression on his face, Shinjiro with a look of studying intent.
Safi is very much wearing his mask, his new mask.
Okay.
It's not like he's still a fucking orange Maine Coon, but you know, it's fine. Yeah, he's just gonna, if possible, does it look like they're talking?
They aren't. Yes.
I'm gonna roll to see if Safi's stupid enough. Oh god, he is stupid enough.
Oh, we lost someone.
We lost someone. Who do
Who
we
do we
lose?
lose?
We lost a D.
D! D! Return! D, I choose you. Oh, come on, that would have been such a great time for him to pop
That
back
would have
into
been
call.
great timing.
But yeah, he is. I rolled a 3, so yes, he is kind of stupid enough. He's just gonna sort of steadily get closer to them, just within earshot, staying behind them as much as
You
you
could
can.
either be above one of the boxes or you could be below the boxes.
Above. That way he isn't seen.
Okay.
Easily, at least, unless they look backwards.
Alright, then I will have you go ahead and make a perception check.
Perception.
Yeah, just a perception check to try and pick out their talk. Because you get the feeling that you would kind of be able to pick out their box above it and just kind of like waiting above the confines at this point in time as the combat is going on below.
How's a 25 sound?
Alright, you're making too much of a deal of it. They'll show up. If they're not there, then I'm sure they'll show up at some point. But maybe they just got in for a late call. So who would sponsor them at that point in time? If they're not here, then there's no chance of them actually showing up. Honestly. Oh, come! You don't give them enough credit. They're certainly clever enough. Saffron has already proven themselves more capable than most things, and I know certainly that Raya would not miss the chance in order to pick a fight with you against. Don't say his name. Man's a blundering idiot enough as it is.
You
Okay.
summoned him.
Is it too late to flash mirrors?
No. Safi is eavesdropping on Lafayette and Shinjiro, so
Oh!
literally as Raya's name was mentioned, you rejoined the call. Incredible timing, I must say.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So they had said that. Well, who would sponsor them? Like, there's no way they would actually sponsor them. They're a bunch of misfits, and like you don't give them enough credit. Certainly, at least Saffron has proven themselves to be enough of an intelligent one and come up with odd situations. And certainly, Rai has gotten attention more often than not. And Shinjiro responded, "Don't say their name." Honestly, the fool misses more things than if you had walked an elephant in front of him. Look, see, like, the Leonids are going to actually win that fight. I don't even know as to why they're here. The only reason they are is because of the fact that they can't have a sponsor as well. The group is there. That one, I don't think I like the look of those. How many do you think are not actually through this whole proper process itself? Oh, I don't know. Could be maybe 20 or so odd groups that are actually qualified, and the rest are more glory and well seekers, as the Overduke said. Yeah, well, Overduke certainly he's more of a mannequin than anything else. I don't like his face. You don't like anyone's faces. Am I ever wrong? Rarely, but you don't give people enough credit. I'm telling you, something's off with him. And I believe you, I do. But it doesn't necessarily do us any good in order to try and draw it out now. First, we actually need to find and get the items that we need at that point of time, and certainly you'll be able to find tomes within the trove itself that could be certain to make you happy. Well, you're probably right. Doesn't sit right for me, though. All this time, all this open space, and now of all times and places, there starts to be a turning. I don't like it. But it gives us good an opportunity. Especially after what the Lich said. Oh, well, you can't blame me. I took the opportunity where I had to. It was an interesting time seeing all the different answers from him, but you know, one has to do and make sacrifices. Sacrifices, really. You decided to waste your youth by answering a few questions. I admit it wasn't the smartest decision at the time, but I think I look good with some gray in my hair. You look old. I do not look old. I look distinguished. You look old. Well, your tails are too fluffy.
Wow. Good comeback,
not
buddy.
Look, it's fine. I am dealing with them as best I can. Do you think he'll notice them? Of course he'll notice them. He'll make comment on them and then challenge you to another duel because he can't help himself. He just makes me so angry.
Maybe you should fuck. It wasn't me,
really.
fuck.
But you were right, and I'm glad you
He's
said it,
not
because
going-
if you didn't, I was about to.
He's not going to notice. If he hasn't already noticed, he's never going to notice. Oh, maybe, but what's the use? I'm done watching these for the today. I've seen all I wanted to. Come on.
Oh,
What? It's just getting interesting.
Can
Yeah, bail.
We're leaving. Oh, fine. At this point in time, you are stepped far enough away that they do not notice you upon their departure.
Sick. Oh, immediately running to Raya as fast as possible.
It's actually really interesting. So, Raya would kind of make sure that he's far away from everyone else before he actually does what he was gonna do at first.
Oh.
He
Which
remembers
is attempt.
he remembers the box and location that they were in. So when he's probably around like maybe halfway to the other side of the arena, he's going to flash the card at Shinjiro.
God damn it.
Make a. I'll give you a sleight of hand check because you're trying to hit a very small target with a very small mirror.
Oh. All right. And can I use a boon?
That's up to you.
I do.
This is what you're using it on.
Yes, it is for 29.
Iconic.
29.
Phenomenal.
I would say Saffron, Pradas, you're just beginning to back away. You would hear Shinjiro say, "What the?" And in a low, almost feral growl, "That fool!" And
I'm gonna use the little because we got our little group chat. Just gonna send to Raya and just be like, dude, you made him so pissed. Good job, but also I got tea.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
and Saffron, you would hear Lithea call to Shinjiro, Shin, come back, Shinji. Raya, I need you to make a stealth check for me, please.
Oh no.
Me?
Yes, you.
I warned him. Is there any way that is an assistance? Or is that too much of a stretch?
Sure. I'll say sure. Well, that depends
Wait.
upon
Eh.
if Raya, are you choosing? Are you actively trying to hide at this point in time? Are you just kind of like grinning in your proudness at this fact that you flashed a mirror into Shinjiro's eyes?
You flashed
Raya.
Shinjiro? Hey yo.
Raya is not. Raya is not bothering to hide, and he's just flipping the car while he's waiting at the entrance.
God damn it.
Lithea does not catch up to Shinjiro. Saffron, are you heading over to where Raya was as well, or are you just stuck into the crowd?
I think he's gonna try and. Hold on, I have to roll another stupidity check. Oh my god. He is curious to see what Lithean's gonna do. So he's not like fully leaving, but he's making himself maybe a bit scarce.
Well, so that that Shinjiro and Lithea have both kind of left their box, and you can tell that they're probably that Shinjiro is heading towards Raya was being followed after by Lithea. So are you following after them as well, or are you just kind of watching from a distance?
Yeah, I think he's gonna follow, keep a distance, but follow.
All right, go ahead and make a stealth check for me, please.
Please.
Don't forget, you got a point for it if you need it.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, I'll use a boon. Oh God, that was almost Okay. But no, plus stealth. Okay. 16 and boon is D6.
Six.
D6. I'm gonna use a boon. So 16 plus 2, 18.
18. As you kind of like come down the steps a little bit, you would hear this whooshing of wind, as you would see moving at a speed that matches close to yours. Is Shinjiro
fuck.
just down the halls,
I'm
and
gonna
you would
use-
see running after a few probably another half a minute later, just panting out of breath before eventually kind of catching up to the edge of the stairs. You would see Lethea just like. Fuck old age. But he does not see you.
Okay. As soon as I see Shinjiro fucking booking it at that speed, I'm just like, dude, incoming.
Raya,
And I will.
what
I.
if I hear Shinjiro coming?
You would not hear Shinjiro coming, but you would hear Saffron say incoming.
Raya would honestly not know what to say about that, and he would just look around for a moment.
Alright, then you would probably hear just a moment later a sudden, like a rush of wind, and you would see come darting down the hall a look of anger on their face. Not quite fury, but certainly anger at this point of time. Shinjiro, who tails kind of like flicking in the wind after them as they kind of move to a halt next to you, vaguely breathing and kind of growling out to you, "Why are you shining lights into my eyes? And I thought you had more balls to enter into the tournament, or you're just a coward at this point."
No, it's like, no, not a coward. It's like, why would I honestly have a conversation with you after? Wait, you got a tail. You got a little tail. Where'd you get that?
Nope. Oh, about a week ago. Don't change the subject.
Okay, so honestly, I was a little bit worried because I couldn't find you here for the first couple of weeks. But you're here now. And it's like, and honestly, after seeing everything down there, wasn't really too interested, since I want to know what the final 8 are going to look like instead of the whole 80.
And do you
But
know
how
what
you-
to do you know what to look for then properly, or are you just more interested in seeing sweaty men fight it out?
No,
I mean.
it's like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why you worded it like that, but I'm more on the lines of, once I actually get to the final 8, I'll be able to see exactly what I'm going on against, strengths and weaknesses, what to look out for, what to use to my advantage, who to psych out, what to break, what to blow
you
up,
don't
actually.
And you don't think that there's enough of a skill warrant within any of them to go and actually peruse all the talent available? Some might have things for you to learn and pick up, like you did from all the other clubs.
He's
As much
so damn
as I-
bad.
As much as I would love to
I'm
do
not
that,
gonna
okay, as much as I would love to do that, I'm at a point where I need to hanker down on what I can do. I have all the building blocks right here. I have all the obstacles I need to overcome. I have people backing me up. Good people. The only thing I need to focus on right now is myself and making sure that I'm at my best to bring to the tournament. When we win it,
You win it.
very much is like very much so. There's something I gotta do. And we either have to win it or we make it a spectacle. Though, what you think you're gonna win it from us?
I know we will.
You say like you have a perfect win record.
Which against you, I almost do. What is it? 192 to 8 out of the 200 bouts we've had.
And you haven't been plateauing on me, have you?
Oh, certainly not.
Well, that is good, because I don't know about you, but I got a bunch of heavy hitters that I gotta make sure I match up with. And believe it or not, it's like when we were dueling, it was always with the rules. And, trying not to kill each other. There's something I want. Rye actually gets closer, and he's letting that smiling mask fall just a little bit. Something I need to get done. And unfortunately, if I have to step over you to do it, I will.
And I welcome you to... Oh, I don't want to hold back. You think the only reason you're alive is because there have been rules before. I am looking forward to seeing you crawl at my feet and beg me to put you out of your misery.
Kinky.
Are you daft? You really think that one more loss is going to make me beg for you to end me? Shinjiro, what would you be willing to give to win?
The question you need to ask, Raya, is what haven't I given? And soon you'll find out. And they whirl in a huff and walk away.
Don't worry about you.
Saffron, what are you doing?
Oh my god. He wants to fuck you so bad it makes him look stupid. Sorry, it's absolutely astonishing.
Wait, are you actually saying that?
I mean, I'm not even there,
No!
and I can feel it.
No, I'm not saying that in character. This is Ants, the player, saying my god.
No! Okay. This came out of left field for me!
Really? I thought it was obvious from the start, but okay, pop off.
Okay.
So I think Safi is just he's trying to okay, Lethead's old now. He's trying to get the measure of him. Because in his head, it's just like, okay, just because he's old doesn't mean shit. He's still a magic person, and a bunch of old magic people have been able to, cripple nations and shit. So, like, is he now more powerful because he's old? I don't know. I need to find out. Shit like that.
Well, first of all,
So he's just...
you're there, like, nearby to Lethea at this point in time, kind of, like, observing him gently. I would say go ahead and make a medicine check for me, please.
Medicine. Oh. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, shit. Nice. 22.
22. Lethea, like, his mannerisms are still very similar as to what he was like a couple weeks ago. But it looks like in the time since he's aged about, like, actually, here, let me pull this up here real quick. Shit. I dropped my
Don't
mouse.
die.
Nope, I
Don't
dropped my
die.
mouse. That's all. I'm fine. Let me just double check on this. Okay, that's what I need to do. Oh god. Lafayette looks about 30 years older.
Oh my
30 years older? Holy
Fuck.
shit.
god. What did he do?
That
He
means he's,
did
like,
something with a
nearly my
lich.
age.
He got information from a lich and he gave his youth for it. Oh fuck. Okay.
But from what you can tell, his hair hasn't really gotten like a little touch longer, but there's definitely like lines in his. There's definitely like wrinkles on his face. He definitely has a little bit more of a wind to him. He's not quite as spry as he used to be. Like he looks like he's in his mid-50s now,
Damn.
and like there's definitely some graying, and there's definitely some salt and pepper in the hair and in facial hair now in his beard. The eyes definitely have lost a little bit of their light to them, as in terms of like they've gone a little bit dull. In fact, you can see one of the eyes has gone blind.
Damn.
But I mean, go make an insight check for me.
Oh, okay. What the fuck is happening right now? Yeah, 25. Do I need to put
25.
you in timeout? You're rolling too well. Why? Stay away from me.
Definitely like from his age, like even before, and like you knew him as a person who's like a little more like there was an air of like exaggerated confidence. There is an air of there's still that exaggerated confidence, but beneath that there is an air of quiet power within him that wasn't there before.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
And the definitely from what you can, like his robes are remain the same, but the staff does catch your eye that he carries. It looks to be a staff made of this solid black wood twining with jade. Then and on top of which is floating a singular like porcelainish, no, not porcelain, ivory, like crystal at this point in time that glows very faintly.
Don't like that. He traded his youth for information and power. Ah! Okay. Don't like that. I'm gonna keep distance, but still follow.
I feel like he got the raw end of the deal. I got younger.
All right, so you follow after. You would see at this point in time come stalking back, and you could see at this point in time kind of like quiet, solid, and fury boiling off of them. You would see Shinjiro. Say at this point, it's like, well, I can only surmise that there's a lack of screams that you didn't immediately firestorm the entire area. No, why? It makes me so angry. I don't know why. Just every time I see him, it just I want to shake him. Fine, doesn't matter. After this tournament, it'll be shown that he can't hold a candle to me, and I'll be rid of him. It's not worth my time anyway. Don't be hard on yourself. You'll find someone eventually. Shut up. I don't need your... I need to change my binding. And the Shinjiro stalks off. Alright, fine. We'll go and do things your way. Followed by Lafayette.
It's so tempting to follow them, but I won't.
Elegant and
Okay.
Terrace, what are the two of you doing?
Do we spot the other group at this point?
Ateris would have pointed it out when she first saw them.
Yeah. You probably also pointed them out when they had left and departed. They are exiting out from the Colosseum now, so I don't know how long the two of you are planning to stay.
Could I have guesstimated how old Lafayette is?
Not from this distance.
Okay.
But I will let you let you make an Arcana check if being told that hey, Lafayette has gotten older.
Okay, I will do that. Ooh, even with Arcana, that's an 18.
18. You would note that there are a number of undead creatures that can cause aging effects, mummies and ghosts in particular. There's also definitely some possibilities of trading youth and knowledge for power. And you remember that when there was a story about a lich in a swamp that if you could keep him entertained would be interested in passing on information and power to those who could sit for a certain amount of time within the throne in a mansion floating above the swamp.
Is that the swamp that we passed by that I said, oh hell no?
Yes.
Okay.
They just came by it from a different direction.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm glad I said oh hell no to that, out of character, because I don't know that that's what they used yet. Can I... No, never mind. Yeah, I've got nothing here other than just, can I, scout whoever we see in the arena as we're watching?
Sure.
Basically trying to, look for people who have, arcane abilities, and
Sure, I would
judging where they're at.
Then I'll say go ahead and make a perception check with advantage, because you know what you're looking for.
Thank you for the advantage, because the first one was bad. You said perception?
Yes.
18.
18. You do see a couple of various different groups sitting in the stands. There are many of the kind of commoners who are cheering for the bloodthirsty bouts and similar that are rotating through. But you also see probably about a good dozen or so other groups that maybe a little bit more, maybe a few less, that are sitting around and being more quiet and observing the combats going on. You recognize that woman with that brilliant orange colored tabaxi from the other day. She's sitting alone, kind of watching the games. You would see it looks to be a group of kind of well-armed and armored orcs and like even like a half ogre that are watching games with surprising intensity. There looks to be a group, like it looks to be about a group of 4 or 5, two of which appear elven, one of which appears to be an androgynous-looking individual that has a very smooth head, tattoos over it, and black eyes, dressed in a red robe. You would see a couple of other groups that have various different wizards, and you get the feeling that these are about a good, probably some of the other competitor groups that are observing and watching some of the competitors within the
Gotcha.
sands below.
Okay, okay.
The one with the black eyes and red robe catches your attention because that distinct patterning, coloring, you would know and recognize as a red wizard of Thay.
Oh, fuck. I was about to
Oh,
ask that, and I
fuck.
was scared too.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Those are the actual
Okay.
red mages.
Yeah. I'm gonna, like, point that out to Eris. And probably, like, you know, grab my earring and just be like, well, I don't want to not alarm anybody, but I think we're going to be facing a red wizard of Thay at some point during the tournament.
What?
This should
There's one
prove
here.
interesting.
I'm surprised with such a conservative understanding of magic that they would allow them, but
Maybe they don't know by a glance.
it's
They is a powerful force. I feel like they, even if there is no other motive to accept their entry, refusing it could prove difficult politically.
fair enough.
I see, so I guess we're killing them?
We probably should. Leaving one alive and defeated is never recommended.
Murder in the tournament could be frowned upon, though.
Wait, is murder frowned
Wait,
upon?
is murder?
We never
frowned
actually
upon?
we never actually established that.
As far as you were aware, like within the tournament, anything goes. Just that the preliminaries are groups fighting against each other, while the primary rounds were supposed to be tasks where each group is provided with the task, and the where those who complete the task first are those that get to proceed. You don't know necessarily what happens in the event of a draw or similar, but it did not. But as far as as the rules were concerned, there did not appear to be any limiting factor in terms of spells or harm caused. In fact, there was very little in terms of boundaries laid in terms of what could happen within the games.
That in itself makes me
Concerning.
suspicious. Like above
That is
table,
very concerning. That is very concerning right there.
above table, that makes me suspicious because it makes me wonder if this is all just some elaborate cover for a ritual or something.
I'm very much thinking sacrifices are being made too.
That could
'Cause
just be our conspiracy
my mind immediately
brains,
went to
but
is Volin War type shit, okay?
that could just be us being conspiracy nuts. But
Okay. Well, I don't think so.
Pepe Sylvia, Pepe Sylvia.
Yeah.
See? Even Sadine thinks it's suspicious. You see this shit, Gunpatro? Oh my god. Alright.
So we have a Wizard of Thay. Anybody else particularly interesting?
With that perception check, the only one that really stood out to you was the Red Wizard of Thay. There could be others, but and they may be watching it through other means or otherwise. But as far as you tell, the Red Wizard of Thay is the one that immediately caught and grabbed your attention.
Gotcha. I'm going to stay out of their way until absolutely necessary.
All right. Terrace, is there anything else that you're doing, or are you just staying by Alligan's side?
Did I discover anything with my wandering of the halls?
You would have heard that there is frantic betting going on, both in the stands, and that there's an actual betting house next to the stadium itself, where there's been apparently significant coin already lodged. There is. You would have seen probably the other groups that Alligan had pointed out to you as well. Make a perception check for me.
18.
18. Aside from what Alligan saw, you pretty much see a lot of the similar stuff that Alligan saw. With your wandering, hold on, let me just double check. Yeah, nope, you would just see the kind of the same things that Alligan pointed out to you.
Yeah.
Either other groups may not be here immediately, or they're waiting for later on in the weeks, or otherwise.
Yeah, I only rolled a 10, so the 10 plus 8.
All
Easy
right,
as.
then we will hop back to Saffron, and well, at this point in time, are you all choosing to stay within the Coliseum himself, or are you all kind of regrouping at this point in time and departing out?
I think regrouping.
Yeah, I think a terrace would leave with Alligan when Alligan is ready. Buddy system.
Buddy system, yeah.
And what about you, Saffron?
Yeah, once Lithayed leaves, he's like, okay, no, I can't keep being stupid. I've had far too much good luck. I cannot play with this. I'm gonna go find Raya and the others, and I need to info dump about everything I just heard. So, he's gonna go find the others.
Right. So you then all get together. I'll see you all get together kind of right outside one of the main gates and off to the side of the Coliseum at this point in time, as you're all now kind of heading back towards your fielded caravan at that point.
Okay.
So, I have so much shit. Please.
Go.
share.
You first.
And I cast exposition.
Wait. On everything?
Everything that he overheard. And then also adds, Riot, Shinjiro wants to fuck you really badly. Really badly. It's kind of embarrassing. Anyways, and he continues. But yeah, it just says everything he overheard by those two. All the little observations that he made as well. Of yep, this fucker is in his 50s now. He's got a really powerful staff. Blah, blah, blah.
Ursa?
He's fucking older than me.
Yeah.
The fact that that's what you latch onto
Yeah.
is...
With that
No, it's the
info
fact
dump.
that well, he is a man now, he's not the boy anymore. This man has cheated at everything he's ever done, including aging.
What were you saying, D?
Little don't make Raya reassess every interaction that he's had with Shinjiro.
What?
put like a new lens on it right there.
Make a history check at advantage.
Oh no. Is he
Right.
not killed you because he wants to fuck you?
Raya has had a moment.
Yeah.
It's all just been jealousy and trying to get his
How?
attention. It's like those.
What
It's
the-
like when they say, "Oh, that kid's only bullying you because they hate you,"
Okay,
because they like you.
Okay, no. I rolled a 16 at first, and I was like, you know what? Okay, I can live with that. I can live with that. And then the next thing was a nat 20.
Damn.
Let's fucking go.
There's this sudden when Stefan says this to you, there's this sudden nah, can't be. We always it's like, how long have I known Shinjiro? And there's this sudden pictures in your brain that kind of some hazy, some fuzzy, some not all together there, and you remember all the way back from during the time and when you were playing as kids. Before you had your incident of playing with a white-furred kitsune who went by Shinji and who spent quite a lot of time by your side. And then as time went on, and especially after your incident, they tried to remain with you and show that they could keep up with you, and then show that they were possibly worthy of your attention and of your time and of being with you. And growing older through teenagers, of fighting with sticks and then eventually wooden swords, and then seeing you get picked up by Norik, and Norik not picking Shinji to go with you, and them having this moment as being pulled further apart and away, and a bitterness settle in and grow, but still wanting to prove that they were worthy of your recognition, of you seeing them. And then growing even further apart and not knowing how to process that, except by the only way you actively noticed or saw them was by fights, by competition, by the only you really interacted that was them was through barbed insults, lashing tongues, and brutal words, because it at least made you notice them. And now they're at this point of saying, how can you not see me now? And I think that's a good place for us to leave here tonight.
Damn.
God damn.
He was down bad from the fucking start. I told you.
Yo!
Thank you all, everybody, for joining us on this session of And We Went Out Roving. I'll see you all next week. Have a lovely night where nothing ever bad happens to.
Oh, wow. Wait, does next session mean we start the competition?
Next session we'll probably go through the next 2 weeks pretty quick, and then it'll be the first round of the competition.
Oh, hell
Let's
yeah.
go.
Yay!
How you feeling, D?
Do you know what this means? The one thing that
Many
Riot
number
feared. No, the one thing that Riot feared happened to what is potentially his oldest friend.
Yeah.
You forgot him.
Yeah.
Oh
Thank you very much,
God.
everybody. Good night.
We are going to raid over to Rained Inc. Rained Inc. is actually the artist for my current VTuber. They are just doing a reading discussion today of Blood and Ash chapters 1 and 2. So go give them some love, say hello, be respectful, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye-bye!
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.